Staying on in South Africa, Western Cape High Court has postponed the trial of a man accused of killing his parents and older brother with an axe until May the 2nd, when the police officer who first arrived at the scene of the crime will be cross-examined. 21-year-old Henry Van Breda is charged with murder following an incident at his high-security home on January 27, 2015, which led to the deaths of 3 of his family members. An autopsy report used as evidence in court on Monday revealed that the 3 family members died of unnatural causes due to head injuries. Van Breda, however, pleaded not guilty, saying an intruder wearing dark clothes, gloves and a mask had attacked his family members. With elections in Kenya only 102 days away, the main opposition alliance is running out of time to name its candidate. The National Super Alliance, NASA, has 5 men competing to be party leaders, but many expect the selection committee to look no further than Raila Odinga. 72-year-old Odinga leads the Orange Democratic Movement, the largest opposition party in parliament. If confirmed as a candidate at NASA's rally in the capital, Nairobi, this will be his 4th attempt at becoming president. Mr. Odinga still maintains that he won the controversial 2007 elections, in which then-President Mwai Kibaki was named the winner, sparking violent clashes that led to the deaths of more than 1,000 people. In the Horn of Africa, Somalia's Al-Shabaab militants have shot and killed a senior national intelligence officer in front of his own house in the capital, Mogadishu, today. The police said the security officer who was involved in conducting security operations against the group was sitting in front of his house without his bodyguards when armed militants shot him to death. Al-Shabaab, which is waging an increasingly deadly campaign of bombings despite losing most of its territory to African Union peacekeepers supporting the Somali government, claimed responsibility. Earlier this month, Al-Shabaab said it was also behind a car bomb attack targeting senior officials living in a military base in Mogadishu that killed at least 15 people. The UN Children's Agency, UNICEF, has launched an emergency measles campaign in Baidoa, Somalia, targeting 30,000 children in the town. Many of the children have been displaced by an ongoing drought and have never been immunized before. The number of deaths from measles has fallen by 79% worldwide since 2000, but nearly 400 children still die from the disease every day. That's according to the World Health Organization.
The UN Children's Agency, UNICEF, says thousands of children have been infected by measles in famine-threatened Somalia, already hit by an epidemic of cholera. This comes as the group launched the campaign to vaccinate some 360,000 children in 1 month. Many of the children have never been immunized as they come from remote areas health workers often cannot reach due to the conflict. The vaccination campaign is starting this week in the central city of Baidoa, where large numbers have been arriving in search of aid, at least 70,000 in March.
We already know of at least 16 suspected cases in Baidoa, which means that the true numbers are surely much higher. We know that the measles can spread quickly in overcrowded displacement camps and IDP settlements, of which there are so many in Baidoa. And we know only too well from 2011 famine that measles, combined with malnutrition and displacement, is a lethal combination, especially for children.
Almost 5,700 cases of suspected measles have been reported across the country since the start of 2017, more than the total number of cases in 2016. Measles, a viral respiratory infection that spreads through air and contact with infected mucus and saliva, thrives in congested, unsanitary displacement camps, which have mushroomed across the country as the people flee drought. Children suffering from severe acute malnutrition are 9 times more likely to die from diseases like measles than healthy ones, according to the agency. More than 6 million Somalis, half of the population, need emergency aid, including close to 1 million acutely malnourished children. The United Nations is racing to avoid a repeat of famine in the drought-hit Horn of African nation, where more than 250,000 people died of starvation in 2011. Somalia has been mired in civil war since 1991 and continues to face an Islamist insurgency.
In the meantime, British charity Oxfam says climate change is making drought and humanitarian disasters worse in the Horn of Africa. This comes ahead of a major climate march organized in Washington to coincide with the first 100 days of the Trump administration. The UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, says about 12 million people in Ethiopia, Kenya and Somalia are at risk of hunger due to recurring droughts. Somalia is at risk of slipping into famine for the second time in 6 years. Still in the Horn of Africa, a Somali man has been sentenced to life in prison by a U.S. judge for his role in an attack on a U.S. Navy ship 7 years ago. Mohammed Farah and 5 other Somali pirates attacked the USS Ashland in April 2010 off the coast of Djibouti. The Ashland fired on their skiff, setting it ablaze and forcing the pirates to abandon ship. They were rescued and later handed over to the authorities. The other 5 had previously been tried and convicted. Still to come on Network Africa. The baby girl born with 4 legs and 2 spines returns home to Côte d'Ivoire after a successful surgery in the United States. Please stay with us.